Stop wasting land you do not have. Most families think they need a big backyard to grow real food. They are wrong. Everything your family needs to eat from spring through fall can come from a space 10 feet by 10 feet, 100 square feet, smaller than most bedrooms. This system will produce over 200 pounds of fresh vegetables in a single season, not with more land, with better design. This is the blueprint. Rows are the enemy of small space food production. Rows were designed for tractors, not for families. In a traditional row garden, nearly half of your total space is consumed by pathways between the rows. On 100 square feet, you cannot afford to surrender a single inch to empty ground. Instead, we will use deep soil-intensive planting, where plants grow closer together and the soil is dug deeper below the surface. This method eliminates rows entirely. You plant in dense blocks, with every plant spaced evenly from its neighbors in all directions. The soil is prepared to a depth of 24 inches, double the depth of a conventional garden. In a conventional garden with only 24 inches of shallow soil, roots remain short and thin, and the plants above must be spaced far apart. But in deep, rich soil at this depth, roots reach far down into fertile earth, and the plants on the surface grow closely together with no gaps. Plants can be placed closer together without competing because their root systems grow downward into deeper, richer soil that a shallow garden could never access. A deep soil planting area produces roughly 4 times the yield of a conventional row garden in the same space. On 100 square feet, that difference is the difference between a hobby and a food supply. Before a single seed enters this ground, you must build the soil that will power the entire system. Dig the full 100 square foot planting area to a depth of 24 inches. Remove the top 12 inches of soil and set it aside. Then loosen the subsoil beneath with a long-handled digging tool, breaking it up without removing it. This is the double dig method. Now rebuild the planting area in layers from the bottom up. The loosened subsoil sits crumbly and light brown. Above it, place a 3-inch layer of well-rotted compost, dark and rich. Then return the topsoil, mixing it with an equal volume of aged animal manure and additional compost as you go. When you are finished, the surface sits several inches above the surrounding ground. The soil has expanded because air and organic matter have been introduced into compacted earth. Small earthworms move through these layers. Water drains downward through the soil while roots grow deep into the rich mix below. This soil holds moisture longer, drains excess water faster, and feeds your plants for the entire season. You have built a living system, not just a planting surface. On the back edge of the garden, a sturdy wooden trellis stands 7 feet tall and runs the full 10-foot width of the space. Vertical wooden posts are connected by horizontal string lines, creating a wall of climbing support that effectively doubles the productive area of the garden without adding a single square foot to its footprint. On the left side of the trellis, pole bean plants climb upward, their vines wrapping naturally around the strings as green bean pods begin to form. A single 10-foot row of pole beans trained vertically will produce 10 to 15 pounds of fresh beans over the season. As they grow, these plants also fix nitrogen from the air into the soil, quietly feeding the crops around them for free. On the right side of the trellis, 2 cucumber vines climb upward, with dark green cucumbers hanging from the vines as they mature. Trained vertically, these 2 plants will produce 20 to 30 pounds of cucumbers. On the ground, they would sprawl across 15 square feet. On the trellis, they occupy just 2. This is why vertical growing is not optional in a 100 square foot garden. It is essential. This trellis section occupies roughly 10 square feet of ground space, but produces 30 to 45 pounds of food. That is 3 to 4 pounds per square foot, coming from a space most gardeners would leave empty. Directly in front of the trellis, in the central 30 square feet of the garden, 6 tomato plants grow in 2 neat rows. Each plant is tied to a tall vertical wooden stake and pruned to a single main stem, keeping it upright and compact. Clusters of red tomatoes hang along the central stem as the plant channels its energy into fruit instead of excess foliage. Each tomato plant occupies roughly 2 square feet of ground while producing 15 to 25 pounds of fruit. 6 plants, properly managed, will yield between 90 and 150 pounds of tomatoes in a single season. That is not a generous estimate. That is what a well-fed tomato plant in deep, rich soil will do. Between the tomato plants, where sunlight still reaches the soil, 2 large zucchini plants spread across the front edge of the bed. Broad leaves shade the ground, while dark green zucchini fruit hangs beneath. Placed where they receive full sun, these two plants will produce 60 to 80 pounds of squash. A single zucchini plant is one of the most productive food sources available to a home gardener. 2 is abundance. Together, the trellis, tomatoes, and zucchini occupy 40 square feet of the garden and produce between 180 and 275 pounds of food. This section forms the backbone of the entire system. Along the left and right edges of our garden, 2 narrow strips of leafy green vegetables occupy 20 square feet total. Large Swiss chard plants with colorful red and yellow stems grow beside curly dark green kale leaves and small loose lettuce heads. They are planted densely, with chard and kale 8 inches apart and lettuce 4 inches apart. These are cut-and-come-again crops. A pair of scissors trims the outer leaves of a chard plant, while new small leaves grow from the center of the same plant. You take only the outer leaves, never pulling the whole plant. A single chard plant managed this way will produce for 4 to 5 months without replanting. As one crop of lettuce is exhausted in the heat of summer, you immediately resow with a fall variety. These strips never sit empty. The moment one plant finishes, the next seed goes in. In a 100-square-foot garden, bare soil is lost production. These strips produce 15 to 25 pounds of nutrient-dense greens over the season. Across the front of the garden, the south-facing 40 square feet receives the most direct sunlight. Here, root vegetables grow underground, which means they do not compete for light with the taller plants behind them. This area cycles through 3 complete crops in one season. First, small round red radishes grow in the brown soil. Radishes mature in 25 to 30 days. You sow them first and harvest them fast. Then, in the same soil, long orange carrots grow deep underground, taking 70 to 80 days. When the carrots are pulled in late summer, round dark red beets are sown in the same soil for a fall harvest. Radishes yield roughly 5 pounds. Carrots planted densely at 2 inches apart in the deep soil produce 20 to 30 pounds. Beets add another 10 to 15 pounds. Root vegetables store exceptionally well in a cool, dark storage space, extending your food supply well beyond the growing season. This front area produces 35 to 50 pounds of food that can be eaten fresh or stored for months. Around the entire outside edge of the garden, a thin border of herb plants completes the system. Small basil plants with round green leaves line the front edge, where they thrive in full sun. Parsley plants with frilly green leaves line the left and right sides. Small chive plants with thin green stems sit at each corner. These herbs serve 3 critical functions. They provide flavor that transforms simple vegetables into complete meals. Their flowers attract pollinating insects like bees, increasing the fruit set of tomatoes, squash, and cucumbers. And many herbs repel common garden pests. Basil deters aphids and whiteflies. Chives discourage carrot fly. The herb border is not decoration, it's infrastructure. Our garden stands complete. At the back, a tall wooden trellis covered in climbing bean plants and cucumber vines. In the center, 6 tomato plants on tall wooden poles, surrounded by zucchini with dark green fruit. Along the left and right edges are strips of leafy greens, including Swiss chard with colorful stems, curly kale, and lettuce. Across the front, carrots, beets, and radishes grow underground in rich brown soil. And around the entire outside edge, a thin border of basil, parsley, and chives. The trellis at the back produces 30 to 45 pounds of beans and cucumbers. The tomato and zucchini area in the center produces 150 to 230 pounds. The leafy green strips along the sides produce 15 to 25 pounds. The root vegetables across the front produce 35 to 50 pounds. The herb border around the edge produces 5 to 8 pounds. Total production from 100 square feet, roughly 250 to 350 pounds of food in a single season. A conventional row garden of the same size would produce 60 to 80 pounds. You have tripled or quadrupled that output by designing a system, not just planting a garden. But this is about more than weight. Look at what you have actually built. You have a protein source in the beans, a calorie base in the squash and root vegetables, a vitamin supply in the greens, a preservation source in the carrots, beets, and tomatoes, all of which can be canned, dried, or stored, and a flavor system in the herbs that makes every meal worth eating. A family of 4 sits together at a dinner table, eating a meal of fresh tomatoes, green beans, roasted carrots, kale salad, and zucchini, all grown from their own garden. This is not a garden. It is a small, quiet food system that asks for 10 feet by 10 feet of earth and returns hundreds of pounds of food year after year, as long as you feed the soil and respect the layout. You do not need an acre.
You do not need a farm. You need 100 square feet, good soil, and a plan that respects every inch. This is how a family feeds itself, not with more land, but with better design.